home sweet home?
Oh, yes. It feels good to be back. I made a lot of plays on this field. I had a lot of emotion early on. To finish a game like that, that feels so good.
You made a lot of plays on this field tonight, too, especially in the fourth quarter. As they were putting together that run, what were you telling the defense?
Just stay poised, stay together. The game's not over. We still have the lead. Let's go earn it.
2 sacks on the last 2 drives, a game-ending sack. Not bad for a 39-year-old man.
I still got a little juice, just a little bit.
But, all right. Enjoy this one.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I believe that qualifies as big bank, tank little bank. That's 6'9", sacking 5'10", and a win in the end here for the Arizona Cardinals. P2, you know the place. Something about that barn.
Yeah, the Eagles' Nest is going to definitely get hot and get cranky when the Red Sea is rising, man. But 2 big takeaways to start the game off from the defense that really gave them the momentum. The only thing that really cost that game was that touchdown right before halftime. 9 seconds to go, 4th down, no timeouts, and the Carolina Panthers gave up a touchdown with the Cardinals getting the ball back. But here's my problem with the Cardinals. They was up 27-9 with 13 minutes left in that ball game. Kyler Murray just had a great, awesome run down the sideline. A couple plays later, a costly interception. That was something that helped give the Carolina Panthers some momentum and eventually try to get themselves back in the game to complete the comeback. But that was something ultimately they weren't able to do.
Felt like they let off the gas a little bit, let a team back into it that was being outplayed for the entirety of this game. And I'm sitting here wondering how much runway Bryce Young bought himself at the end of last season, and is he still sitting on the tarmac? He takes off a little bit, but then returned to earth on that final drive. What'd you see from Young in this one?
So absolutely, there was a time there where you were looking at this through the first 6 quarters of the season because the Carolina Panthers were not competitive against the Jacksonville Jaguars in week 1. Through the first half, through the first really 3 quarters, they were not competitive again. This offense looked terrible in the preseason, but we were told, it's just the preseason. The guys are going to get it right once you get to the season. They didn't in week 1. It didn't look like it in week 2. Then some things start to break their way. To Pat's point, obviously getting that interception. Then you start to build that momentum. They score right after the 2-minute where that was a beautiful RPO by Bryce Young throwing it to Hunter Renfrow. That's the way that it's supposed to be done. And then getting very lucky with an onside kick. Let's just call it what it is. You get lucky to recover any onside kick in today's NFL. But Bryce Young, I think, went 0 for 8 in that gotta-have-it drive there at the end. And it's not like the Arizona Cardinals defense absolutely came alive at that point. He couldn't look over the line. He couldn't find anyone. He wasn't close on some of his throws there at the end to really give his team a chance. Wanted to see a little bit more from Bryce, even in the losing effort in that final drive.
You know what could actually help Bryce out? Running the football better. That was missing.
Yep.
And having playmakers emerge in the passing game. Ted McMillan, in 2 weeks of play, he's really looked up the part.
He looks
10
like
targets,
a first-rounder.
6 receptions for 100 yards. Jadavian Sanders, he balled out. Hunter Renfrow was trying to figure his way out. But they need to get something from Xavier Legette. 8 targets, 1 catch for -2 yards.
It would have been better if he wasn't on the field.
Yeah, we need more.
I mean, this is a guy he wasn't a first rounder, but they view him as a first rounder because he was picked in the high second round, in the early second round. And right now, we haven't seen anything in terms of the potential and talent we know he has display on the football field. For your young quarterback, your rookie wide receiver shouldn't be that, the difference shouldn't be that inclined when you look at some of the other players, especially a guy like Xavier Legette, who's 6'3", 200 plus, very, very fast, athletic, and not showing up in the stat sheet.
You are what your record is, and 2-0 is 2-0, but it does come with qualifier that I'm looking at maybe the 2 easiest wins on anybody's schedule early here for Arizona. The Saints and the Carolina Panthers, they take care of business. No shade needs to be thrown. You can only win the games that are put in front of you here, but there's going to be some more stout tests put in front of you. The 49ers, however dinged up they are, we saw McCorkle-Jones spinning that thing. You got the Seahawks then on a short week before you get the Titans and what looks like a pesky Colts team. The Packers, maybe the first world beater before a bye, if we already want to assign that. But, Pat, I'm going to come to you here. When you look at 2-0, it's exactly what you needed if you're Arizona. A step up in class coming. What are your expectations?
Man, they're going to have to play better football, especially down the stretch. Like I said, both games, they have started the game off with great execution. But something along in the game, they go through a lull. Kyler Murray have a costly turnover. or they'll start getting fast 3-and-outs. Defense start giving up plays. With these 2 games they have coming up next, 2 games within their division, teams they know very, very well. Winnable game possibly against the 49ers dealing with the injuries that they're dealing with, but they have to be able to close games out and finish them better than they have the first 2 weeks.
They were very close to losing that Saints game. And then if Bryce Young makes a couple of throws, they were very close to losing this game, right? So it's a fine line, 0-2, 2-0. But you guys know this, to win early on, it doesn't matter how pretty it is. You just got to win, right? And so, okay, now they have won. And now, fortunately enough for them, we all here, everyone watching, they know the issue. They got to build up their stamina. They can't let those teams back in. They have to continue keeping their foot on the gas. That is something that Jonathan Gannon and his coaching staff will be able to preach throughout this practice week, because the fix, I don't want to call it easy, but at least you know what it is, right? You're not searching for answers. Everybody knows what the answer has to be. Now it's to go solve for the problem.
And it starts with leadership. You know, hearing Calais Campbell talked about, he kept reiterating to the guys, man, we got to finish. We got to find a way to close the deal. Those things are needed on the sideline when you're in the midst of some type of complacency being displayed throughout the team. So that has been an issue for Arizona in years past. We saw it surface last week, to your point, almost squandering away an opportunity against the Saints. It showed up again today. So just learning and figuring things out, because next week is a great test. Right? Even without Brock Purdy, it's going to be the home opener for the San Francisco 49ers. You know, the atmosphere is going to be on 10. And the way they play football and the way the confidence is starting to display with everything they're doing, they're going to be fired up. With or without Brock Purdy, that's going to be a difficult task for the Arizona Cardinals.
I told you 5 years ago, we had Calais Campbell on our air here on HQ, and he was already mulling the idea of retirement, what he wanted to accomplish in the short span that he had left. It's 5 years later. Still ending football games with sacks.
2 sacks in the 4th.
A tip of the cap to Calais Campbell, the big fella, coming through again. As for Bryce Young,
oh my goodness,
got to be better everywhere, but especially have to be better on the road. Just 1 in 14 to start his career.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you.
Big news coming out of the NFL. A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
With highlights.
What a finish at the final round of play.
And in-depth analysis.
Can they three-peat? Tony Romo joins the conversation.
What can you say about this game?
When you need your sports in a snap,
we're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
Find it on CBS Sports HQ. Streaming free anywhere you are.